Welcome. Thanks for joining me here today in your online class, and my first ever online class that I've attempted to teach. I'm no stranger to online classes. I've been taking courses and classes online for years now, but this is the first time I've attempted to create my own, so thank you for stumbling through it with me. So the theme for today's class today is health and well-being. I wonder why. So I've created a kind of a short immunity boosting, detox boosting flow for you. It's something that you can plug into your day whenever it's convenient for you, in the morning, in the afternoon. And I've also got a couple of things here. I've got a candle for energy, for intention, for clarity, purpose. And I've got some Palo Santo, which is a wood from South America. So I've been experimenting a lot more lately with how to funnel my intention, my sense of a deeper connectedness to the energies of the material world into my yoga practice and into my self-care rituals. So Palo Santo is a wood that's meant to be very healing and protective. It helps to eliminate negative energies and protect you from negative energies in your life while keeping and maintaining all the positive things that you need. So for busy, modern multitaskers, this is a great, short, efficient way of cleaning out the crap and keeping the good. So we're going to use that today. We're going to take advantage of the social distancing that we're all participating in. Me, myself, alone in this beautiful studio at EDAM at the Western Front, and you from the comfort of your home. And we're going to take advantage of the fact that we are able to use scents. You know, we're not going to disturb or disrupt anybody with scent sensitivity. So if you have some incense that you really like, or essential oil that you really like, you can use that. Or if you have some Palo Santo yourself, you can use that right now. Otherwise, in lieu of that, you can use mine, and I'm going to use it as a way of inviting clarity, health, and into our lives more for ourselves, for our families, and for our communities. And for eliminating toxic stress, drama, fear, panic from our lives, so that we can be sensible, we can protect ourselves through this time, but we can also kind of rise above the fear that's out there right now, knowing that stress can be one of the biggest inhibitors of our immune system. We've got to protect our immune system, stay healthy, stay strong, stay positive. So here we go. You can use, I was going to light through the candle. All right. Didn't light through the candle, so it doesn't seem to be lighting this way. So lighting the candle first. Lighting the Palo Santo. Now, if you're at home and you're not using anything, you can definitely just take deep breaths in, invite in virtually positive energies. You inhale. You can take your own palm, and even if you don't have Palo Santo, and sweep it towards you. 3 deep inhales down into your belly, into the bowl of your pelvis, into your back, side, low ribs there. Inhaling through the nose, which is warming and cleansing and filtering, and exhaling out through your mouth this time, just to help kind of de-stress and unwind and let go a little bit quicker. So inhaling 3 times and out through your mouth, drawing in what's healthy, what serves you, keeps you balanced and clear. 3 times, sweeping away from you to press away all the negative stories, dramas, maybe ones you've been telling yourself or other people have been telling you. Press away the stress. Clear your space so that you may receive more fully the health, the happiness, the abundance, the love, and clarity that you are here to receive. So we're going to let that go now. And move it to the side. And take a moment just to shake those legs out. If you're seated in your easy seat, you can shake your ankles out, shake your knees out, and then return back to your easy seat. You can sit up on a hard foam cushion, or hard pillow if you've got one at home, or a yoga block if you've got one of those. Draw your hands onto your knees, and let's just connect with the core breath. So those of you who take my classes regularly know exactly what this is, but if you're new to my classes, this is just a little extra pelvic floor squeeze on the exhale to press and lift and decompress the joints of the body from the earth, from the ground, up through your spine and out. So we're going to inhale, expand all the way down, reverse that reverse breath that we've all been conditioned, where we breathe just up here. And breathe up on that inhale. So we're going to breathe down on the inhale. Breath floods down into the lungs. The diaphragm moves down. The belly moves out. Inhale, expand. Exhale, squeeze, lift up through the pelvic floor. Press that breath up and out. The diaphragm lifts up. The ribs contract in. The breath is pressed up and outward through your mouth or through your nose. So inhale, expand. Open the space all the way down to your sitting bones and your pelvis, and then exhale, squeeze gently and lift that evenly up through all sides of your spine, especially through the front of your lumbar here. As the belly pulls back, and the back of your lumbar sweeping in and up to support that lumbar spine and sacrum. So inhale, expanding down. One more time, and exhale, squeezing and lifting up. Good. So we're going to begin on hands and knees. So just spin your shins over to the side. Come onto your hands and knees, tops of the feet can be on the mat. And touch your palms nice and strong, shoulder distance. So the fingertips point toward the front of your mat, and the wrist creases are parallel with the front of your mat. Middle finger is in line with the outer edge of your arm. That's shoulder distance. And then back off a little bit of the wrist crease, so you're not stacking your shoulders right up over your wrist, but behind them, and that'll be a lot nicer on your wrists, and they will last a lot longer through the years of your yoga practice. And then if you need to, you take the knees back behind you so they're right underneath your hips, hip distance. Draw your elbows back, spinning them back as you press down through strong fingertips and through this ring of the palm, so thumb pad and index finger pad press as well. Draw your belly in, hug the low bottom ribs in the front, in without rounding up through your back there. So you're hugging in and lengthening as you press down into the earth. Then bend your elbows. Take an inhale, arch and open through the front of your chest, not pressing, collapsing into the shoulders, into the lumbar, keeping that low belly hugging in a little bit. You're going to press down strongly with fingertips and palms, and then curl up between your shoulder blades. Hang your head between your arms. So inhale, open your chest, and exhale, curl. Inhale, open, invite in fresh oxygen, blood flow, new energy, life, vitality, and exhale, eliminate that which no longer serves you. Now we're going to add the lion's breath. So we're going to inhale and open. Take that breath in through your nostrils, and then exhale. Stick your tongue out and press down strongly with your palms as you curl up through your upper back. So inhale, stick your tongue out, breathe out through your mouth on that exhale. One more time. Elbows spin back, long through your neck spine, not shortening through your neck there. Exhale, press down. This time, Inhale, tuck your toes, nice strong tuck toes and fingertips and palms. As you exhale, press down and hover your knees off the floor, just an inch or two. Lower the knees, inhale, open as you're sitting, they'll slide back to your heels, you're stretching through front body. Exhale, keep your spine nice and neutral as you pull those knees up off the floor, long through all sides. Inhale, open, and exhale, press. Nice and strong, activating that push down into the earth and that bounce of lightness up through all your joints, from the earth, through wrists, elbows, shoulders, and into your spine, and through your feet, through your legs, and into your pelvic floor. One more time, inhale, open. This time, slowly slide back to your downward facing dog, and just walk in place, taking your time here. Set your feet as wide as you need to. No need to press the knees straight and push the heels down into the floor, which can round up your low back and stress your low back and sacrum. Keep your natural lumbar curve. Keep your knees bent as long as you need to, and then just slowly reach one heel. It doesn't have to come all the way down to the floor, and then the other. Another thing here is keeping those armpits lifted. So we're not dumping down through the shoulders, shortening, contracting all the muscles of the neck here. Keep those armpits lifted, spine nice and long, waving that length always through the pelvic floor and the QL in the back, all the way out through the top of your head. One more breath here. Come to stand evenly on your feet in your palms. Big breath in. Feet back a little bit. You're going to roll through into plank pose, out through the crown of your head. Keep those shoulders up the whole time. Low belly lifted. You're in your high push-up. And then slowly lower your knees down, staying in that push-up formation. So we're not collapsing the hips down or collapsing around the shoulders. Staying long and strong, reach your heart forward and begin to lower yourself down. Your pubic bone should touch the mat before your navel. Shoulders stay up the whole time so they're never diving past your elbows. Release your head. Take an in-breath, and then on your exhale, pull up through the low belly first, squeezing up through the pelvic floor, low belly, front ribs hug toward back ribs. Press down strongly with your palms and ripple your head up last. Good, inhale at the top, and then exhale, wash your heart back down. Set your palms out as wide as you need to so they feel comfortable, so you can get a great push into the earth, some purchase, and get that physics press bouncing up through the joints of your wrists, your elbows, and into your shoulders and your back, so you can stay strong and balanced in your cobra. So on your exhale, pull in through the low belly, hug that front body in first, and ripple your head up last. So you're not tempted to grab up at the top of your spine here, shorten your neck, and then block yourself out of the correct alignment of your cobra the whole time. Exhale, sweep up through low belly, hug front ribs, and ripple head up last, and you'll feel better, more kind of juicy, more organic in your cobra pose. Reach your heart forward and down. Help yourself back to child pose if you need to rest, or come up strongly through your kneeling plank position here. Tuck your toes, send your hips back, slide back to your downward facing dog. Keeping those feet hip distance and knees slightly bent. You can even bend the elbows here. Press down into the earth and swing your right leg up, navel lift strongly. Keep those hips level, balanced. Then exhale, pull knee to chest and curl in. Get that cleansing lymph pumping. So inhale, lengthening out. You're in an inversion here, and then exhale, hugging in strong, long psoas. So we're getting that strength at the core, the deepest core muscle, the psoas. Hugging it in, and then on the third time, step your foot behind your right wrist. Come onto your fingertips. Keep your hips lifted, especially that left side. It's going to want to drop. Pick that left hip up, left thigh up. Stay aware of that back foot there. You're on the ball of the foot, so not pushing out through your heel here. On the ball of the foot, so you can use both feet. Send your sitting bones back, press down into the earth, and softly rolling up first through the low belly. Not tucking pelvis, keeping hips back. We're just softly rolling up through the back of your heart, your shoulders, and your head to stand. Good. Feel free, if you need to lower that back heel down. Keep your toes, your knees, and your hip all in that same plane, 45 degrees, and then spin your chest toward the front of your mat. Otherwise, if you're up for a challenge, stay on your back foot here, so you're on the ball of the foot. Lift your arms up, and then just start to circle and open those wrists and arms out beside you. If you're able to, shoulders lift, so you can get the arm bone lifting past the acromion process, and they can reach more easily and fluidly back to where the shoulder blade, and the shoulder blade can come around to your back. So we're coming into interlace fingers if you can here. Otherwise, your hands can stay here back at the palms on your low back. Lift the heart chest. Keep those palms apart so they're not pressing together, so you can get a nice counterbalance stretch for your wrists. Open up on an inhale, and on your exhale, cascade your heart forward, down onto the front knee or inside of the knee if that's good for you. And then bend everything, even the back knee there. Pull up through the low belly, softly roll up through the top, back shoulders, head last. Inhale, open at the top. Exhale, wash your heart forward and down. Good. One more time, press into the earth, from earth to spine to core to sky. Lift up, inhale, and on your exhale, wash your heart down. Good, pause here, just hang out here, get some traction for your neck, that beautiful inversion. Nice, and then we're going to spin toward the left long edge of your mat. Take your toes to this side. You can come out of the bind. You can put your elbows on your thighs or your hands on your thighs or the hands on the floor. And begin to lunge from side to side, just opening up, softening through the tracks of the inner thighs, which is part of your deep core line. Softening here, lunging from side to side, swaying if you like, rippling if you like, getting that movement through the sides of your outer body there. And then at center, take another big breath, fold in a little bit deeper. Knees stay bent, hips stay back. You can release your arms if you like, or stay here in your bind. Inhale, back to your sitting bones, reaching behind you more. Exhale, squeeze up through the pelvic floor, softly roll up, top of the shoulders, head last. Coming into temple pose here. Turn your toes out. Your kneecaps and your toes are on the same line. If your knees are rolling in, send your hips back more. So you can get those knees back more over your heels. And then have a look down. See if you can press them out. If you cannot press them out so that you can see the big toe on both your feet there, then you might need to turn your toes in more so your kneecaps and your toes are on the same plane. Hug in through your low belly, lift your arms up. Inhale, stand all the way up. Take your right elbow over your left. If you can eagle wrap your arms, palms touch, or the backs of the palms touch, or you just give yourself a hug, all the same benefits. Inhale, lift up, arching and opening. Exhale, stick your tongue out. Curl just into the upper back, carefully not pushing pelvis forward. Hips stay back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, let it go, lion's breath. Inhale, open, and exhale. Detox, let it go. So we're going to do this one with a little wavy spine. So inhale, lift up, and then wave your spine all the way down, turning your toes back toward this long edge of your mat. Hang out there. Another breath, and then lifting yourself softly back up through center. Good, turn your right toes back toward the front edge of your mat. Come for a moment into your warrior two position. Hips balanced between your 2 feet. Bend the back knee if you need to. So your pelvis is free to come to center and it's not locked and shoved forward. And then we're trying to correct the ribs by reaching them back. And not feeling so comfortable in the pose. So feel grounded, rooted, centered all the time from the earth through your spine to the sky. Good, now spin your arms down, help yourself back to your downward facing dog. Right away, take your right leg back behind you and shake it out. So we're not working for a stretch here, we're not looking for a stretch, we're just getting some release, some inversion, and cleansing lymph flow happening. And then step that right foot down. And take your time here, walk yourself slowly forward and up the mat. Walking yourself up the mat so you can come hip distance, knees bent, around to the middle of your mat. If you need to, your elbows are on your knees or your hands are on your knees, and you're getting some nice traction through your low back that way. Otherwise, you can stay with fingertips on the mat, or you put fingertips on your shins, and on your exhale, come up halfway, rippling up through that low belly. So the exhale is where you naturally contract your belly. So we're just going to utilize that to pull in through the pelvic floor a little bit more. Hug those front ribs in, roll those shoulders up, shoulders back, and lift your head last, halfway up. For some of you, you need to come up about 3/4 of the way. So we're looking for a nice long spine. From the back of the pelvis out to the back of the head and heart, you're on one line. Fold yourself down, find the place that you need to be, ripple yourself up 3 times. Good, now pressing down to the earth, help yourself up to standing, find your mountain pose Tadasana. Hands come to prayer, find a moment of rest, balance, peace. You can close your eyes, just see the view there. Good, and then float your arms back up, lengthening. Spin your palms toward the back of the mat there. Your elbows stay bent so you can get the humerus bone, the upper arm bone, reaching back towards your shoulder blade coming onto your back more. Now they can widen out as much as you need to, or it'll come lower down. You don't need to lift them up so high. So you can guess where we're going. We're coming into chair pose. Send your sitting bones back, send your knees back over your heels. Find your balance here so you're still long and strong through that lumbar spine, sweeping in and up the QL, sweeping in and up pelvic floor, and so as to protect the lumbar in the front. Inhale and open. And then on your exhale, stick your tongue out, make some noise. Ha! Let it go. Press it away. Roll softly up through the shoulders, your head. Inhale, open, and exhale. Ha! Send it away. Press down with your feet from earth to sky. Lift up and exhale. Ha! Send it away. De-stress. Unwind. Let that tension go. Take a moment for yourself here, hanging over your legs, and if you're feeling pretty flexy, you might want to stretch the legs straighter, but never if it's pushing, rounding out your lumbar curves. You must keep those sitting bones moving back, so if you need to, stay bent the whole time. One more breath here, release your head. And soften and fold back down. Place your palms on the mat. Help yourself back to downward facing dog. Stepping your feet back. Hip distance. Keep knees bent. Armpits lifted, palms nice and strong, bend everything, knees and elbows even. Then press down into the earth, bring your left leg up, try to stay centered with your hips. Your hip isn't opening up there. Hug the belly in, and then on your exhale, pump that limb, curl knee to chest, come forward. Inhale, stretch it back. You can always do this with the right knee down. If you're not up to it today, stretch back on that inhale, and exhale, curl in. So on the third time, take knee to chest, hover for a moment, pushing down strongly with your fingertips and palms. Then step your left foot behind your left wrist. Balance your hips here, come onto your fingertips. Send that right hip, right thigh up. Keep the back knee bent so you can press evenly into both feet. Exhale, curling up through the back of your heart and shoulders. You're sweeping that energy up through the earth, your feet, your legs, your inner thighs, your psoas, all the way up your spine and out to your fingertips and the top of your head. Take your time here, roll your wrists, find some freedom, find some individuality, some expression, whatever you want to do. I often just start wiggling around and moving the way I feel like. So you're free to do that too, and you're in the comfort of your own home, so nobody's looking at you. Good, so feel where you need to be. And feel free to drop that back heel down. Just stay aligned, back toes, kneecap, and hip all on the same plane. Spinning your chest forward. Good. So if you can, interlace those fingers behind your back. Keep those elbows bent so you can loop the shoulders onto your back more. Hug your belly and sweep your chest up. Opening from the root right up through the top of your head, so not collapsing through the neck spine. Inhale. Exhale, reach heart forward, cascade your heart down. Exhale, bend that back knee. Roll yourself up nice and strong. Inhale. Sweeping in up the front body, open the chest and cascade it forward. push into the earth, sweep in and up your inner body, your core strength, so you can find lightness and ease and flow in all your joints. Good, one more time. Sweep your heart forward and down, and then just rest there. Breathe, hang your head. If you can, press the back of the wrist up towards the ceiling and breathe. Then we're going to come to the right long edge of your mat. Spin your toes this way and start lunging from side to side. Hands can come to the floor or thighs. Getting a deeper stretch in the inner thighs now. You might want to pause a little bit longer. You might want to roll onto that big toe side of your foot. So you're rolling onto the inner edge of your foot and opening the outer edge, and that deepens the stretch in the iliacus and the flexors there, and the inside of your pelvis. So whatever feels good to you, you are free to explore. Then come to center, sitting bones stay back, fold yourself down, knees can stay bent, release your head. Then help yourself up, sitting bones stay back, I'm not tucking them underneath me. Reach them back, softly roll up through the back of your shoulders and your head. And now I'm going to turn to face you. Come to standing in your temple pose, toes out, kneecaps, toes, the same line. Have a look, do that test, make sure you can see your big toes. Lift your arms up, inhale, and then take your left elbow over your wrist, find your bind, whatever works for you. Inhale, open. Exhale, stick your tongue out. Blast that stress away, blast negativity away. Let it go. Inhale, open. Inviting a new life, new energy, and blasting out the old. Inhale, open one more time, and now you can stay in your bind and begin to weave yourself down, getting that side body's nice and open. Turn your toes to this side of the mat as you go. And release there, hanging out, letting go, shaking out even, bouncing out even, let intention go. Help yourself back up to standing, nice and light, soft. Good. Find your warrior pose on this side. So I turned to face the other side of the mat. You should have your left toes pointing toward the front edge of your mat. Yeah? And then the back heel spins a little bit so toes point straight out to the side. Back knee can bend so your pelvis can move freely, and you can find your alignment from the legs right out to fingertips on top of your head. Breathe here. Nice and soft through your joints, even the shoulders and the wrists and the elbows. We're not locking them straight. And coming militaristically into this form. We are flowing organically from the inside out. Good, now take your time, spin your hands down, and coming back to the front edge of my mat, and then help yourself back to downward facing dog. Your left leg lifts up. This time shake it out, just keep that knee bent and just shake, ha, ha, ha. Kick out that stress, kick out what no longer serves you, and then step your foot down. Good, nice wide stance with your feet, bend your elbows, bend those knees, and then roll yourself in and up through the core body, through pelvic floor first, so it's out the top of your head. Place your knees down. Try to stay lifted in those hips, stay lifted in those shoulders, and lifted with your head as you lower yourself down for cobra. Fingertips can come out wide if you prefer that one. If you're familiar with my classes, you've probably done this with me. Elbows right over the wrists and the fingertips. Or set your palms wherever they feel right for you, where you're not compressing your wrists so much, but you can still push down through your hands and feel that support rising up through your shoulders. Roll yourself up through the front body. Come into your cobra. If you feel ready for it, you can come up a little higher. Press down with your hands, lengthen those arms, shoulders stay rolled back, and belly hugs in more into your upward facing dog, wherever that is for you. Maybe you're on your knees, maybe you're on your thighs, maybe you're on the tops of your feet. Another big breath. Losing my voice. Good, and then find your way back, maybe through bent knees, back to child pose for a moment if you need, or rolling over your feet, back to downward facing dog. Good, now take your time and walk your feet forward. I'm not going to have the water into your Uttanasana, standing forward fold. So you could be here with elbows on knees, knees bent, fingertips on shins, wherever you are. Take a big breath. Send the breath back to your sitting bones, and on your exhale, ripple up from sitting bones out the top of your head. You're in one line. Fold deeper. One more time. Send the sitting bones back. Exhale. Ripple up through that front body. Head last. One long line. 3/4 of the way up if you need. Fold in deeper. This time, come into your chair pose. Find that length right up to the top of your head, right up through your fingertips. Sitting bones back. And if you don't want to bend so much, don't need to. You can stay up higher. Just want to send your hips back and keep your spine in alignment with the pelvis. Hug those front ribs in. Arms can come forward more. Big breath in. Now we're going to come into a twist. Fingertips touch. Spin your left elbow to your right knee. Keep your knees and hips balanced. So you're not pushing out the opposite knee. Keeping that left knee back in line with the right as you spin to the right. Come up to standing and then spin to the left. You can come up to standing and inhale and exhale, twist and press that breath out of you. So the exhale is the most powerful detoxer we have. Let it go. You can use your lion's breath. Strong, empowering hugs. Activate the solar plexus, the diaphragm. Let it go. Breathe out through your mouth or your nose, whatever serves you. Get that oxygen in and eliminate the toxins. One more time, twisting over to the left. Come up to standing. Inhale, lift your arms up. Grab something, visualize it, whatever it is. Crap other people's drama, coronavirus, whatever it is. Grab it in your hands and exhale, cast it away. Ha! Beautiful. One more time, roll up. Exhale, throw it away. Ha! Good. And find your resting Uttanasana here. So I want to interlace my fingers. Helps to stretch my wrists and release my neck. So whatever works for you, shake it out, bounce it out if you like to. Good. And then help yourself down. So you can help yourself down if you're flexible right through squat position. Or put your hands down. Help yourself down to your sitting bones, and then we're going to finish with a seated spinal twist. So coming onto your mat, you want to take your right foot over your left knee, or keeping it inside of the left knee so that you can drop that right sitting bone down. That works too. Another option is to straighten that left leg-ish, straighten-ish that left leg. Put the right foot down and be here, or put the right foot across the long left leg. So whatever works for you, so you can get that right hip dropping and you can feel grounded over your pelvis. And we're going to spring the length up from the earth, press into the earth with your sitting bones and up through your pelvic floor, up through your spine evenly on all sides as we spin. So you can keep your right fingertips down, your left hand on your knee. Try not to yank with your arm though, so pressing out and yanking on the low back and the sacrum. We're spinning from the chest and using the abdominals, the side obliques, to do that. So you could just take your hands away and stay exactly where you are. If you are up for it and you feel flexible enough, you can bring your your left elbow right onto your right knee there. Come lightly onto your fingertips so you're not pressing into the heel of your hands too much and straining your wrists. And then come into your twist. Hug your belly in, pressing against the top of the knee onto the thigh there with your elbows and spinning your chest open more. So again, you're using your abdominals to come into this twist, not the push of your arms. Find your way, take a deep breath down into your pelvis and exhale, spin out through the most flexible, twistable part of the spine, the neck. Keeping your head balanced over your pelvis. Breathe. A deep breath all the way down. And exhale, send and press that breath up and out. Spiral it out through your spine as though you could breathe out the top of your head. One more big breath. And then we're going to come into our counter twist here. So you can stay right here in your twist. If you've got your left leg long, you might want to bend it, hug it in, and find a variation a little bit more like this to get the benefits of this next one. So you can come right here. Right elbow against the inside of your right knee and twist. This is an option. If you want to get a deeper stretch into the QL in the back on the right side, so that's a deep spinal support muscle for your lumbar and the back, or your glutes, you could just drop that knee open, wherever it is, don't worry about it. Drop it open, even if it's still all the way up here. Float the foot up off the floor, and then go nice and long. So as you twist, you stay long through that left side, and then you reach over this top foot here. So stretching the heart nice and long. Breathe. You can even send the right fingertips out a little bit longer or onto a block or something if you have it. Breathe. You can wave from side to side if that feels good to you. You can ripple your spine if that feels good to you. Find the flow. Find the breath. Stay juicy. Stay present. Find the pleasure even in the intensity. One more deep breath. And then come back to center and shake those legs out in front of you. Release back. Bounce the calves on the floor. Nice massage. Pull the toes together, toes apart. Release his hip flexors. Nice. And then come into the twist on the other side in the way that serves you, right? So you can drop that left hip down. You can ground and root down into the earth with your sitting bones and spring your spine up into its natural alignment. So hand on knee, careful not to yank, or elbow on knee, fingertips together. Come into your twist and press down into the earth more. Breathe down into the earth more on that inhale, so you can find more lift, more decompression for your lumbar spine as you come into this twist. You're twisting across your chest from about the sternum out to the top of your head. With lightness and ease, and breathe into it. Deep, full inhales all the way down into your pelvis, and exhales all the way up as though you could press that breath up and out the top of your head. And then come back to center. Relax that knee open if that's where you're going. Or stay here with the foot on the floor and come into your counter twist. Not pushing and yanking, but twisting with your abdominal strength, with your core strength, over to the other side. If you're here and you're stretching QL and glutes here, you drop the knee open, the foot comes off the floor, you come into your twist, and then you lean a little bit over the leg, a little or a lot, depending on your mood. Breathing back to your hips, your glutes, waving from side to side if you like, rippling that up through your spine if you like. If you're up here, this is beautiful. Respect your boundaries, respect where you need to be. Just move lovingly, caringly towards your edge. And over time, your boundaries will expand, your heart will expand, your body will do the expanding that it was meant to do. So we don't want to push it. Breathe that in. And then help yourself back to center. Shake those legs out. Whew, there's some crack in there. And then helping yourself down. Now, if you have yoga blocks, go ahead and grab those. 2 would be awesome. If you want it a little higher, you could take your yoga block, if you only have one, and just kind of lift it up onto its side. We're going to extend it widthwise across the back of the pelvis there. This is all I have. I'm at the wonderful Western Front at Edam, and they have some ugly foam chip blocks here, and I'm going to use them. Otherwise, you can take a folded blanket, press pause on the video, fold up a blanket 3 times, that's great, or a nice, firm, sturdy couch cushion works, or a rolled up yoga mat, that works as well. You want to elevate your hips in the way that works for you. So come on down onto your back, take your feet down to the floor and lift your hips and slide those blocks across the back of the pelvis, not onto the lumbar. Relax your arms, Send the shoulders down, and then press gently with the back of your upper arms into the floor and the back of your skull into the floor. So we're not pressing out the neck curve, shoving the chin into the chest, but keeping our natural, beautiful, curvaceous neck curve. And then gently lift your legs and float them up over the hips here. So we're not going for a stretch, we're going for a beautiful restorative inversion here. Getting that cleansing, toning, lymph flow, flooding toward the heart, moving toward the heart, which will help our circulation, help our whole body clear and detox. So we can get stronger immune systems and stronger and more balanced at center. So you can just stay here, float, shake it out, roll your feet, your ankles, and mobilize along those leg lines. And then I'm going to come into a stretch, and you can feel free to press pause on the video, stay, linger anywhere you want to, or do your own flow from here if you like, and then join us again. Press restart. So I'm going to come into a stretch for the hip flexors. Put one foot down and lengthen the other leg, and the same arm as leg lengthens, and then I'm going to curve it over in the opposite direction. So I'm coming into a C shape, a crescent-like shape. I'm going to use my standing foot to kind of hook underneath the lengthening leg, and the other arm to hold the lengthening wrist. And open up all along that side. If I roll the toes inward of the lengthening leg, I can release the hip flexors and psoas more. Take a deep breath, try to roll that hip off block, send it down, and open through your side bodies, your hip flexors, your psoas. And then come back to center, adjust, and lengthen the other side. Same arm and leg, lengthen away from each other, hold the wrist, hook if that feels like it works, and breathe. Spinning those toes in, hugging the navel lightly in to protect the low back, and opening the breath all around your chest. Careful not to shove, chin in, stay long through your neck spine, and breathe deep, full breaths. And then come back to center. Press down with your feet, take the blocks out from underneath you. Again, benefit of doing an online yoga course is that you can push pause on that play button, and you can take as much time as you need to. So we're going to come into Shavasana now, and this is the perfect place to press pause and then rejoin, because Shavasana really should be held for about 3 to 5 minutes so you can get the full benefits of your practice. This is where your body kind of resets the mold, where it returns back to that remembrance of yourself, your true alignment, physically, emotionally, psycho-spiritually, in every way, in every aspect. So we want to soak it in. Just be. Let all doing, thinking go, and just be. So when you're finished your Shavasana, you can come back and join me in a closing meditation. I'm going to move on. Coming back to your easy seat, come back onto a cushion if that's how you started. Sitting up on your sitting bones, take a moment to yourself, to thank yourself, to really, really honor this time that you've spent with yourself, taking care of yourself, knowing that you did your part to help and heal yourself, but also that health and healing extends toward others and the world around you. So placing one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart, take a deep breath down into your belly. Breathe in all the love all the nourishment, all the gratitude, the health, the healing that is your birthright. Send it down. Let it swim through your nervous system, your respiratory system. Let it swim through your blood. And then on your exhale, pressing up and out, whatever spilleth over, and sharing it with the rest of us. So inhale, breathe in the love that is you. Exhale, express it out. Inhale down to your bottom hand. Exhale up and out. One more time. Inhale, foot turns up. Exhale, bring your hands to prayer at your heart. Namaste. I thank you so much for joining me here today. This was an adventure for me. I just wanted to seize this opportunity to try something new. I hope you enjoyed it. We stumbled through it together. So much love. Namaste.